Tara, let's talk about goal setting and momentum. Today I have 5 practical steps for planning out your year. There are many mindsets to goal setting. Some people say set realistic goals so that you can achieve them easily. While this may be great if you are new to setting goals, in my experience, the people that I've seen have true success, regardless of what industry that they're in, are the ones that dream big and set audacious goals. The founders of doTERRA are a great example of dreaming big, and I am so grateful that they did. They paved the path for millions of others around the world to achieve their dreams. Now, they created the goal without knowing exactly how to make it happen, and then they explored different options of how to achieve it, and broke it down into actionable steps and pivoted when needed. So, step 1 is having an unshakable belief. It's hard to set an achievable goal without belief in your ability. I love the quote by Mary Ash that says, "Don't limit yourself. People limit themselves to what they think they can do, but you can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe and remember, you can achieve." My business mentor, Dan Sullivan, taught me that 10x is actually easier than 2x. He states that smaller goals often don't have enough excitement to actually create any change. So we fail to achieve the small goals, and then we don't even bother with big goals. For example, if we want to lose 5 pounds, we may watch what we eat a little, but overall, our day-to-day life may not change much, and we may not see a difference. If we need to lose 75 pounds, however, then we completely change the way that we eat, and we get some blood work to understand our body better. We jump fully into programs that support our health, like the 90-day reset, and maybe even hire a personal trainer. Then we see incredible results because the goal inspired real change and action. doTERRA is a place where ordinary people do extraordinary things. It just requires that belief in something big enough to take action. Truly successful people have a ridiculous amount of belief in their capability to succeed. So when challenges arise, instead of giving up, their mind goes to work at figuring out how to pivot to create the desired result. Or as Tony Robbins puts it, stay committed to your decisions, but flexible in your approach. Our big goals should stretch us and excite us so that they inspire action and lifestyle changes that create real results. Now, step 2 is define the impact of your goal. Once you've determined what your goal is for this year, get really clear on the result of achieving that. What does it look like and feel like next December when you've reached it? What impact does it have on other people? In one of my marketing courses, I learned of a dentist whose initial goal was to have a career that supported his family without crazy work hours. It seemed pretty good, but once he was financially stable, he felt no drive or real sense of joy in his accomplishment. He attended an event where a business consultant started asking his team what inspired them to do this work. One woman shared that because of her teeth, she was too shy to smile at school. It was hard to make friends, and it really affected her self-esteem. She finally saved enough money to get some dental work done and almost instantly gained a new confidence, and people started noticing she was friendly and she was fun. The dentist reflected on his own struggles before getting braces. He went back to work and collected stories from patients and realized the true impact of his career wasn't just dental work. He was giving people their confidence back. He was creating more connection through making the world a friendlier place, one happy smile at a time. So I want you to take a moment to reflect on how doTERRA has impacted your life, and what impact have you made by utilizing this and sharing with others. If you don't already have a collection of experiences from your team, consider asking them to share and put their stories in a place where you can see them. You'll be amazed by the ripple effect that you can create. Obviously, we can't set goals for anyone else, and we cannot expect them to do anything that they have not agreed to do, but you can align your goals with others to create the biggest impact. Step 3, break down the goal into 90-day segments. It's a lot easier to achieve that instead of waiting until the end of the year and then trying to scramble. From each of those 90 days, you want to break down by month. Identify specific benchmarks that you're focusing on that month. What needs to happen to hit those benchmarks? Then break down each weekly and daily activity. Put that in your calendar. As Benjamin Franklin so wisely stated, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And next, we want to break down that goal with your leaders so everyone is clear on their part and moving together in alignment. Then break down the goal with your family as well. What support do you need from them? I started working with doTERRA for my family, and I decided a long time ago to be really intentional about making sure the impact of building a doTERRA business would be a positive one for my family. So anytime you have an audacious goal, It will require some sacrifice from your family. If you include them in that goal and you celebrate them when you achieve it, they will be a lot more excited to support your success. For example, when I had a goal of reaching Diamond, I participated in Diamond Club. I broke down the goal with my family. They saw the calendar of events, and instead of being sad I was gone at an event, they were excited as we checked each one off and got closer to our goal. They stepped in and helped with laundry and meals. They waited patiently for my attention while I was on calls. When we hit Diamond, we celebrated together at Disneyland as we had agreed on, which was an easy add-on after leadership that was in Long Beach that year. So think of ways that you can incorporate your family into your goals. Maybe bringing them to leadership or convention would be an option, or incorporating the aroma touch technique or other oil connection strategies that would keep the positive impact present. Step 4, utilize what's already created. The beauty of doTERRA is that you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have the support of an entire company and a team that has a vested interest in your success. doTERRA has an annual calendar of corporate events, promotions, and programs already in place. Instead of reinventing the wheel, think of how you can plug into what's already done. Implementing programs doTERRA or your upline is already running can create your team focus in a way that maximizes the incentives that are already there. The 90-day reset is only as impactful as you make it by getting your team involved. The same can be said with Silver Club or different events and promotions. If you don't include it in your plan and talk about it with enthusiasm, your team won't either. Another great resource is the DMK with a monthly calendar and done-for-you assets that drop on the 25th of every month for the following month. So make sure to check that out. Step 5 is create an atmosphere for success. Instead of depending on luck or willpower for you to achieve your goal, you'll want to create some forcing functions that support your success. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, you could depend on willpower not to eat the box of donuts that's in the pantry, but it's a lot easier to succeed if instead of even having the box of donuts in there, you had easy to grab healthy snacks. I noticed that when I cut up veggies and put them in the front and center of my fridge, my kids will eat them. So what functions can you create that help support your goals? What are the areas of struggle in your business? If having a weekly strategy call with your mentor would help, then set that up. If time is an issue, but having weekly events is crucial, who could you partner with that you could alternate teaching and running the event? When I first got started, I remember trading meals with a neighbor. She would make dinner Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I would cook Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. It was easy to double the recipe and drop that off to her, and that freed up 3 nights a week that I could focus on my doTERRA events. I also traded babysitting with a friend whose kid went to preschool with mine. She would take my daughter home on Thursdays, and that gave me a whole afternoon that I could sit on the phone, focusing on my contacting and follow-ups without any interruption. I believe success is powered by effective goal setting and taking action on those goals. By implementing these 5 practical steps, you will be well on your way to achieving your desired level of success.